Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. We've got something a little different for us today. Before we dig into that, let me give you a quick update on how the passenger side quarter panel is going. Okay, so here's where we're at. Still got quite a bit of work to do actually to finish off this panel. Car shows and other things with the family and so on, work, have been getting in the way a bit, but I did get some work done over the past little bit. You can see now over here that I've got this now nearly fully dressed up along the seam, and it's really good and flush here. So I think we're going to have minimal fiberglass filler, and then of course probably a light skim of filler, and then the high build is all we're going to need to make this look really, really nice. I've still got some work to do from this section to this section here. This is just sitting a little bit lower than I would like. If I show you with my straight edge here, it's not bad, but you can see, the camera will focus, it's in a little bit, probably not even an eighth of an inch there. And while that might be okay, I'd like to see if I can pull that out just a little bit further. That's a little tricky with the basic tools that I've got in the garage here. But essentially what I'm doing is welding pieces of metal onto here, and then using a small slide hammer to pull this out gently. So that's the process that we'll go through here, just to bring that out a little bit. It's not bad. Truth is, with how little it is here, you wouldn't need a lot of fiberglass filler and then the rest over top. It's just, I'd like to minimize filler wherever I can, so I think I can take a bit more time, pull this out a bit more, and make it more like this, where that's going to need next to nothing to create a nice transition between the new and the old panel. Over here, it's really good. It's nice and flat. I still have to check this entire section for pinholes. That's something that just happens. It's a guaranteed fact with this process. You're going to have at least a few pinholes. Easy to fill and then easy to grind, but just something you got to do to make sure that this panel is solid and that we prevent any rust issues. And then on the door edge here, still a lot of work to do down this side here before that's done. And then I've got still all the grinding to do on the rosette welds. So I've still probably got 3 to 4 hours worth of finished work on this panel metal wise before I'm ready to say, okay, it's done, and we'll move on to the driver's side. So just wanted to give you a quick update on how that's going. You'll see more of that in one of the upcoming episodes. Okay, before I show you what I got going on here, if you're following the series, you'll remember that the plan for the drivetrain here is a 6.4 liter Gen 3 Hemi with a 6-speed TR6060 transmission, and then for rear end, if I could find one, a Dana 60. If I can't, then probably a Ford 9-inch. And the other thing that I wanted to do with this car is make sure that I filled out the wheel wells as much as possible. Still a muscle car, staggered look, but in the back as wide as I could possibly go, and then something in the front a bit narrower, but still something that fills out the wheel well and gives this car the stance I want. So, as many of you probably do, on Marketplace, Kijiji, wherever it may be, looking around for things for the car every day. And then recently, something came up that seemed like it was a good fit, and I went and grabbed it. So let me show you what we got. Bam! Dana 60. So there it is. This is what we're going to dig into. It's a Dana 60. It's already been narrowed to fit an A-body, which is fantastic, of course. Beyond that, I know very little about this rear end. So the plan for this video is to tear this thing down, take a look at what we've got inside, and determine where we're going to go next. A couple more things I can share with you. The width of this from flange to flange, from here to the other side, is 52 inches, and the total width of the housing from here to the other side is 47.5. The spring perches that were on this rear end were cut off, and so these spring perches came with it, and so I've just placed them on there for now to show you where they will line up once this thing is ready to go into the car. So it's really going to be a great fit for this Duster. The other thing I can share with you is that when they narrowed it, they ordered Bear's Pro axles for this thing. So that's a great sign that this has been done really well. Again, we'll take a look at the condition of those shortly. Okay, for that rear end to fit properly in this A-body, it's going to force my hand on something. It's going to force me to do a mini tub on this car. Just the 2.5 to 3 inches that happens when you take the inner wheelhouse here and slide it over to the edge of the frame rail. Looking at it from this side, inner wheelhouse right here, that will slide all the way over and be flush with this frame rail. That's going to give me the right spacing for this rear end, but importantly, it's going to give me the space I need to run a massive tire in here. Something like a 305, potentially, maybe even a 315. With the right offset on the wheel, it's going to fill in this wheelhouse and it is going to look awesome. So that's the plan. And to do that, you know also that my plan for this car was to do a stiffening kit from US Car Tool with the weld-in frame connectors that weld to the floor, the 4-corner torque box improvement, the front rad support, the whole kit. Level 2 kit was the plan. Now with this rear end, we've upgraded to a level 3, which includes everything you need to relocate the springs, do the mini tub effectively, and get everything fit in properly with this new rear end. So that's, on one hand, increase the budget a bit, but on the other hand, it is going to make this car just, I think, next level awesome. And I'm really excited about it. So that's the plan now for this rear end, and that'll be a future episode where we're going to go through and install that level 3 US Car Tool chassis kit on this thing, and I cannot wait to dig into that. All right, let's get into it. I actually really do like this diff cover. I think with some polish and the wheel, we can bring a really nice finish to this. It's got a few nicks that, again, with some light sanding and then buffing, I think could bring this piece out. Be really nice sticking out the rear of this Duster. All right, let's have a look. All right. It looks like this thing might have been set up and then never ran. Let me take a look at the numbers on here. Okay, there we go there. So it's a 373 gear, which actually I think will work really well. 373 with that 6-speed will give me a real nice cruiser. With the 6-speed, I could bump this up to something a bit higher, but I think actually 373s I think will be quite good. And this is an Eaton True Track. Let's take a look at, so this is a spiral gear posi. There's the part number on that there. So there's the part number on that True Track, which again is awesome. That is going to be the most powerful posi traction sure grip style unit that we can get for this application. So really happy with that. Here's the part number on that ring gear. Okay, let's just do a full rotation on this ring gear and just have a look at the condition here. Just looking at the teeth. Looking for any that have been broken off, any damage. Yeah, and it looks like this was put together with new gears or lightly used, if anything. So far, that looks really good. You can actually see that the marks from the paint on there. It looks like it's been set up well too. We've got great engagement on both the front side and the back side. I'll show you that in a second. So it looks like it's been set up right. It looks like the ring gear is in great shape. The pinion we'll have to have a look at in a bit, but I assume if this ring gear is good, our pinion also will be good. We'll probably do new bearings in here. We'll check them, but we'll probably do new bearings for the axle tubes and new bearings for the pinion. Just because while we're in here. All right, that's one full rotation. And there we go. One full rotation. Ring gear looks great. Really happy it's in good shape. And I'm very happy about this Eaton True Track. That is a great unit. If you're not familiar with how those spiral gear, posi units work, I know short grip is Mopar, but Eaton True Track posi, how they work, the spiral gears are just a really great way to get traction to both wheels. I'll throw a picture and maybe a link in the description as to how these work if you're not familiar. But so that's a great find in here. Okay, let's keep rocking. As far as the axle housing and where it might have come from, we've got in the top right, we've got this marker here, which just denotes a Dana 60 from a variety of different models. It can be Ford, Jeep, and I think Mopar. The bill of materials number is what we really need, which is typically found on the axle tubes. And I haven't been able to find them. It's either because they were trimmed by the narrowing of this unit and cut off. I'm not sure the exact location on those, or the new tubes were put on this, or they're covered by a few layers of paint that you can see here. So that's not clear to me, but you can see the 60 marking there, the 2AB number here, which I'm not familiar with. There is another number right there that's really hard to make out. I'm gonna have to wire wheel that off. This whole unit will be sandblasted. When I do the final build on this, we'll do a sandblast. We'll get this thing cleaned up really nice, epoxy primed, and then of course painted. For now though, just in the teardown process and looking at it, that's what we've got to work with. No other markings I can find on the housing itself other than this number here that revealed itself when we took the cover off. If you know what that is, let me know. I'll look that up as well and see if I can find anything about it. Okay, before we can pull this carrier out, we have to pull the axles out. So let's go ahead and get positioned for that. They're not a press fit, but they push in. So we'll just need a little bit of persuasion. There we go. Oh, that is one beefy axle. Wow. Splines look good. Yeah, those look good. Could use to be clean, but those look good. Bearing feels good, but again, we will put new bearings all throughout the unit. Not right now. We're just going to take apart to investigate, make sure we know what we have, and once we're in the final build of the car, that's when we'll have everything redone. Well, I'll do it, and I'll do a video on that. But yeah, there we go. This all looks good in here. No damage, so that's a nice fit there. Okay, let's pull the other tube out. Well, that one was a lot easier. Okay. Excellent. Again, just needs to be clean, but in great shape. Two good looking axle tubes. Again, that bearing feels fantastic, but we'll replace it. It doesn't, maybe it looks like it's weeping there a little bit. So it may be giving up its ghost, so to speak. But again, for the mock-up stage, this is going to be all we need. These bearings are pressed onto the tube. These are the retainers. They're pressed on as well. Cut that and press that off, and on goes the new bearing. It's a pretty simple process, very similar to the 8 3/4 Mopar. Okay, so two good axle tubes. Let's work on that carrier. Okay, let's pull this carrier out and have a better look. One thing that you never want to do is get these caps mixed up. They are machined with the housing to accept the bearings for the carrier and of course the axles that slide in. So you do not want to mix those up because they won't fit properly. You'll have real bad times. So you want to make sure that before you pull them off, you always mark them. In fact, you can see that the previous owner had a G here and a G here to match, and a D here and a D here to match. So that's good enough for me. I know that that's the way that these need to go back on. So I'm not going to bother marking any further. We're going to pull these out now and see what we got. That's good there. That's good there. Definitely some blue Loctite on these bolts. It was put together to run, it looks like. Okay, so with those retainer caps out, this should lift right out. It will be some heavy. Let me get repositioned here. Okay, it might need a little persuasion here. Ooh. Ooh, she's in there. I don't want this thing to fall on me. All right, hang on. There we go. We'll keep those matched up as well. This side over there, and this side over here. Come on. Spacers. Also on that side. Other side didn't have any spacers, interestingly enough. This all looks good in here. We'll say that the pinion bearing seems like it's got quite a bit of preload on it. Not something to worry about right now, but just need to confirm that's the right spec when I rebuild this. But it's fine for now. Inside here looks great. Nothing to be worried about. The teeth of the pinion look like they're in great shape. We'll zoom in there and get you in. You can see there, all have nice edge. And was making great contact with the ring gear based on those wear marks from the gear marking lube. Yeah. Okay, this looks excellent. Really happy with what we got going on in here. And the carrier itself, looking and feeling in there, those teeth look great on that side. We'll check the other. Same on this side. Looks to be no damage. Everything looks to be in great shape. Even the bearings feel really good. If not brand new, lightly used. Kind of a shame to waste them, but when we do our build, by the time it takes to replace them, we'll put new ones in. That way we know we're good. I just wanted to feel the spiral gear motion inside that true track. If I hold the carrier, sounds great, sounds tight, and feels the same. So I have no reason at this point to take this cover off and inspect those spirals. Not at this stage. I don't think that even when I'm rebuilding it, I'd bother. This feels like a great unit, and they're extremely durable, so not overly worried given how it sounds, how it feels, the shape that everything else is in. It looks to me that this was built and ready to go into something and just never got ran. So I'm really happy with how things have turned out here. Okay, I think that's all we're going to do. Let's clean it up, slap it back together, and it's ready for the mock-up stage. All right, guys, there we go. I think we've got a great package here in this Dana 60. It's going to work really well with the rest of this drivetrain, and I can't wait to start mocking it up with that US Car Tool Level 3 chassis kit and start working on those mini tubs. That's going to be a great project. I think that's it for this episode. We'll see you next time. Cheers.